The goal of this video is to show you how to use the MyHistro program to complete your church history project. I'm going to walk you through how to make a timeline. I'm going to show you the steps of putting it together. So please watch this video to guide you in the steps of making your MyHistro project. The first thing you need to do is to obviously log on to myhistro.com. When you log on to MyHistro, you have two options. If you've already created a MyHistro account for another class, simply log in using that. Or if you have yet to log in, please sign up. Now, the easiest way to do this is to use your MSJ Google credentials to log in. That way you don't have to make up a new login and password. You can simply log in with your Google account. So now I've already logged in. I'm on my msjnet.net account. I'm going to accept that. When you do log into MyHistro, it'll bring you to your dashboard. There are a couple ways to go about doing the next section. The easiest way is to either click on Create Your First Event, which will enable you to start, or go to Stories, and it'll help you start to create your story where your events will be added to. I'm going to start from the story screen. Create your first story. Okay. I've created my story name, and for my one-line description, I've chosen to start at Pope Clement. Now from here, I can add a picture to the story as just a thumbnail. From here, I will also include the information. This was retrieved from Wikipedia. And then I'll click Next. The next takes you to your events. And as you can see, since I've just started this story, I have no events as part of it. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new event. This event name would be my starting point. And for me, I've chosen Pope Clement the First. So I have his Wikipedia entry open. I'll do research and I'll read a bit about him. You don't have to read the entire page, but enough so that you learn a bit about your starting point. I've already read over a good chunk of Pope St. Clement's information. So what I will do is I'll go back to my timeline and I will enter Try to keep your information brief. Tell us about Pope Clement I in this case. Explain his importance, what he is known for. But you don't have to include all the minutiae and all the secondary details about him. Keep it focused on what you are centering on about him. So for the map, he was Pope in Rome. So you can simply type in a search option and you can go as focused or as wide as you would like. You can also choose the different type of maps to show. And I think that's good enough. Then you add the dates. This is an important part of the event. It will not save an event without a real date. So you have to actually put in a date. Do not use today's date. Instead, do a little research about your event or about your person. If it's an event, you can choose a singular date for it. If it's a person, then you should probably give years of his importance. For this case, Pope St. Clement held office from 92 AD to 99. So that's what I'm going to do. Because I don't know the exact dates, I'll put unknown. But '92, it's not BC. Add an end date, unknown, unknown, to 97. Then you can add photos. I would recommend between 2 and 3 photos per each event. So if you have, for instance, Pope Clement, then you would add a couple photos about it. When you're all done with your write-up, when you're done putting together the map and the dates and the information, click Done. Because I don't have any photos, there's nothing there. Pope Clement I is listed. He also shows up in my events for the story. Now, getting from events 1 to 2 to 3 and so on. Well, in my reading of Pope Clement, there are certain things that you could click on. I would recommend that you choose something of interest that is outside the realm of what we've talked about in class. But your focus shouldn't be so generic that you choose something like the link to homily or New Testament, but rather pick something that you know that you're going to be able to build off of. In this case, I found that Clement was imprisoned under Emperor Trajan. So I would click on Emperor Trajan for me, which means that Trajan is my second event. This is where I would explain the connection between the two events. What connects Clement to Trajan? So you would explain that. You talk a bit more about the person or event for the second one. And then you would also, again, go through the same steps of the map, of the dates. Make sure that you aren't using today's date. It'll mess up your entire timeline. You can search for things on the map, much like you would do on Google. In this case, I've searched for Trajan's Column, which is a famous site in Rome dedicated to Emperor Trajan. So this is as far in as I can go. Then put the dates. Again, because he's a person, I would choose his reign of emperorship from 98 to 117. '98. I don't know the dates. To 117. I would then add photos of him. You can use the photos that are on Wikipedia, or you can use the photos that are on Google. Either case, make sure that you are citing them in the comments, like this. So let's say I want to use this photo. Going to save the image, go back to my timeline, add the photo, in the about, I'm going to say where I retrieved it from. You can also add video clips from YouTube, so you can link to them. Please keep any video types short. We don't need a 10-minute video embedded, especially since you'll be presenting in class. When you're done with your second event, press done, and you'll see that it's in your story, it's on your timeline. If you want to remove something from your timeline, simply press remove from story. If you want to add it, you can either drag and drop or press add to story. When you're done, you'll press save story, and it'll save your story as a timeline. When you want to upload it or send it to me, all you do is copy and paste the link from your site. That's it. I hope this video helps you in your creation of your timeline. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me in class. But we'll be presenting these, and you'll be walking us through each of your events and your steps between them. So make sure you're familiar with the material so you can present them in class. Good luck.